Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, holy moly, wake up, turn the volume up, because we got this week's episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Coble, with Max Faulkner. Max, I see you wearing another Purdue shirt this year.
Polo.
This week.
Check out this polo,
A nice polo.
Yeah.
I like how the sleeves are a different color.
Yeah, you got that right. Got a little silver and black in there. Shows off the guns. You
Oh,
know, I'm not even flexing. That just goes to show you. Look at
just
this.
natural, huh?
Look at this. Look at this.
Is
Just
that a
natural.
large? Is that a large?
Extra large.
Oh,
How about that? I'm a
Hello.
pretty big boy. I'm a pretty big
Hello.
boy.
hello.
Little body
Let's
fat
go-
percentage too.
What's going on, man? How you doing? How you doing this week? How you
Dude,
feel?
You know, it's always slightly depressing when the first weekend of the NCAA tournament is over.
March Madness.
When
yes,
March Madness, when you
yes.
can wake up on Monday, you're almost hungover, not from drinking, not from enjoying the day and enjoying the games. It's just like, oh man, you know, all day basketball. That's over with. That's over with.
That's over.
You know, it's the best weekend of the year, and yeah, it's over. But very, very excited about these upcoming games, Thursday and Friday, Cole Breezy, which
Oh my goodness.
we are gonna jump into that very, very shortly. But first off, Cole Breezy, let's thank everyone for coming off to the Don't Tell Mama
Hey.
Sports Podcast. Thank
Come
you,
on now.
everyone. Please
Oh.
like, comment, and subscribe here. I believe we're at 940 subscribers right now, Cole Breezy. We're shooting for 1,000. Hope maybe we can get that by the end of the week. Maybe
Oh,
that'd be a goal to
Wow.
start April. To start April.
okay. Little April
1,000.
Fools. Little
Hey.
April Fools.
Look out. Look out. I don't want to fool anyone that we're not going to get
No,
1,000.
no.
So come on now. Come on.
But yeah, like you said, appreciate all the regulars. Thank you all the rookies coming out and watching. Appreciate any time you guys are spending on this. We got a big Sweet 16 episode today. Gonna be talking about all the games, all the matchups. And we got some news at the end. So stay for a little baseball.
Yes.
I know people aren't really into baseball, but this is the biggest star in the sport that we're gonna have to talk about here a little bit. Okay, so stay to the end for that.
Yes.
But Max, we got to start with talking about some March Madness, obviously. Okay, what happened here these first couple rounds? We just want to give a couple shout outs to a couple teams, like the Grand Canyon Lopes, the Antelopes, and Bryce Drew got their first ever win, Max, when they beat St. Mary's. Some people sleeper picking that 12-5 West region. What do you think about the Lopes getting their first ever win?
They looked great. They looked so good against St. Mary's. Obviously, it was a different. It was different in that second round. Alabama's good, man.
Held them
Okay,
to 72. Held them to 72.
But the Lopes look great. They look really good. I'm excited to see if they continue to build this team with Bryce Drew. I'm sorry, it's Bryce, right?
Yep.
There's
Yep,
a couple
Bryce.
Drew brothers out there.
The younger brother. The
Always
younger
mix them
one.
up. Always mix them up.
Yeah.
And it's always fun to see these upsets. Go Brazy. I had St. Mary's in the beginning, and then I flipped. I was like, you know what?
Because
I
that
don't go
injury.
Grand Canyon. I'm looking at these stats. I'm like, these guys are good. These guys are damn good. I'm going for them. And boom, they did not disappoint.
Tyon Grant Foster, the WAC Player of the Year, the former Kansas transfer, had to sit out, collapsing in the locker room after a game, had to sit out a couple years with a heart ailment. So great story there. I wish they could have continued that. Shout out the Bulldogs of Yale out of the Ivy League. They got their second ever win against Auburn, Max. I'd been saying there for about a month or so that I like Auburn.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to be a factor.
Yeah.
But there was just something about Auburn. I didn't have them losing in my bracket, obviously, but shout out to the Bulldogs of Yale getting that second ever win.
Yeah, Yale, unbelievable job. Great defensive game. Auburn, I forgot what player was the one that elbowed that one guy on Yale. He elbowed him, got kicked out of the game, tossed him. Okay, you can't do that. You can't do that. No, so early in the game, too. What are you thinking? Cobrazy, I was a nipple pinch away. I was a nippy pinch away from picking Auburn to take down UConn because I
shot you got in the shower and thought about it. You were talking about.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And obviously, I didn't make that pick. I didn't do it. I was like, I just can't. UConn is too damn good. I just don't see it. And sure enough, Auburn going down against Yale. They had that game too. Auburn had the game. They were up by like 10 points at one point. This is like the same story as last year when Princeton took down Arizona, other than the fact that 13 compared to a 15 seed, where they were down by they were losing by 10, and then out of nowhere this defense just turned up, shut down Arizona. Same thing happened with Yale against Auburn. They just turned it up. It was a fun game. We were watching it over at the White Alligator. Had a po' boy. Wearing all my wife and I were wearing all the Purdue gear. People coming up saying "Boiler up," or "Choose Boilers all the way, man." Boilers here in Tennessee.
Nice.
People say "Go Boilers, man. We got you. We got you." So anyway, it was a good time, but unbelievable game. Auburn Yale. But that was the game that was on, and I missed the freaking Florida Colorado game that was going on at the same time. That ended in a game-winning shot, Cole Breezy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That was one of the bigger ones there, Colorado, Florida.
A lot of defense in that game.
No.
What the hell happened there? College basketball, you're known for defense, and like, what the hell happened?
First tournament game since 2005 where both teams went over 100.
Didn't even break overtime. Everybody did not go to overtime.
No. Let's shout out the Dukes of Duquesne, their first win since 1969. They took down my BYU Soakers. Damn it, I was sleeping on that one. So shout out Duquesne.
Yeah, Duquesne, unbelievable win. Yeah, man, Cole Breeze, I thought you were converting. We talked about this last week, and I think
Did you see the clip I posted? Did you see the clip I posted today?
Check it out, everybody. You'll know the answer whether or not Cole Breezy is going to go Mormon.
I let the people know. Check out that clip today on YouTube. Don't tell mama. Shout out James Madison. What they have, 31, 32 wins this year.
Yeah.
They had their first NCAA tournament win in 41 years, Max. This led already Coach Mark Byington taking the Vanderbilt job. He's gone. We saw Terrence Edwards, the leading scorer, and enter the transfer portal. He might be going to Vanderbilt with him.
Oh, I like it.
What do you think about James Madison and Mark Byington now going to Vanderbilt?
James Madison was my Cinderella of the season.
Elite Eight.
I put them in the Elite Eight. I had them beating Duke, and then I had them beating Houston, which Houston almost lost to Texas A&M. So I was this could be something. They're a high scoring team. They play defense. But Duke, I underestimated them. I underestimated Duke. They're a really, really good team. And you know what? Not as many upsets as we thought there would be this year, Cole Breezy, especially after the past few March Madnesses. There's been, crazy teams making the Elite Eight. So 15 seeds, 13 seeds.
Yeah.
So not this year, though, everybody. Not this year.
Not this year. Two more teams want to shout out here. Aggies out of the Mountain West, Utah State, their first win since 2001.
Oh.
This led to Coach Danny Sprinkle leaving after 1 year, taking the Huskies of Washington's job. Now they're in the Big Ten now, if I'm not mistaken, Washington. So Danny Sprinkle now at a Big Ten university. What do you think about that?
Again, ridiculous that Washington's in the Big Ten. Nothing you could do or whatever. But good for him. This Utah team was fantastic. We'll talk about them getting beat down by Purdue in a little bit. But that first win against TCU is really good, by the way. I talked about TCU a few times this year, that they're scrappy, they play hard, but Utah State did a really good job.
Last team, we got to bring it out here to Boulder, the Buffaloes, Colorado. They haven't won 2 NCAA tournament games since 1955. They won the first 4, then they beat Florida. They haven't won 2 tournament games in a single tournament since 1955.
Wow.
And they had the most wins in school history this year. So a lot of talent. KJ Simpson, Cody Williams, Tristan Da Silva. It's going to be a whole new team next year. I'm thinking it's going to, in the first year back in the Big 12 for the Buffs. I think it's going to be a rough one next year, Max.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit different because these guys Simpson will go to the NBA. I mean, who knows when he'll be drafted, but he'll be there, but the question is, a few of these guys that are in their senior season, do they get that extra year because of the COVID year? That is a question to see if they're going to come back and maybe play for, I don't even know, where are they? What division are they going to be in now?
Big 12.
They are in the Big 12. Okay. Well, good luck.
Yeah.
good luck.
Yeah. Talking about conferences, let's look at the conferences that had the most success so far. Only looking at the conferences that had at least two bids to get into the tournament. The ACC, has a record of 8-1, Max. 8-1. Their only loss, Virginia, getting that ass beat. Okay. Big 12, a conference that we were all on. Okay. They were ranked top 5, top 10, top 15 all year. 7-6. Big 12 is 7-6.
Yikes.
The Big East, that conference that we said, Seton Hall and St. John's were probably those next two teams, along with Indiana State, that got snubbed. The Big East with UConn, Creighton, and Marquette, you guessed it, 6-0, undefeated. Pac-12 in the last year of the conference, Oregon gets in, they steal a bid.
Yeah.
Pac-12 6-3 right now. Okay. Big Ten, let's go to your conference, 6-4. 6-4, the Big Ten.
Take it.
SEC, in my opinion, was the second best conference this season.
Yeah.
5-6. Losing record for the SEC. Mountain West Conference, the conference we were queefing on, 4-5. Only team left is San Diego State. West Coast Conference is 2-1. The A10 went 2-2. American went 0-2. Okay, so if we're looking at this, ACC has 4 teams in the Sweet 16. They have 25% of the Sweet 16. The ACC does. Big 12 has 2. Big East has those 3. Big 10 and SEC both have 2. Pac-12, Mountain West, and West Coast Conference all have 1. Max, what do you think about the ACC being 8-1 and having a quarter of the Sweet 16 teams?
I slept on the ACC. Other than North Carolina. I didn't sleep on North Carolina. I think I have them going into my Elite 8, if I'm not mistaken. But Duke, I slept on them. Clemson, I slept on Clemson. I had them losing in the first round to New Mexico because I thought those damn Lobos. Man,
those fucking Lobos.
What the hell was us jumping on this Mountain West train, going crazy for the Mountain West?
We did.
And we didn't, but it's okay. That's what makes it fun. If we were to get all of them right, it's just not as fun. It's just not as fun. Take your losses like a man. Puff your chest out and say, hey, you know what? I made the wrong decision. I'm sorry.
Gotta own up to it. Don't
need to apologize for nothing, though.
And then, of course, that last team being NC State, the Wolfpack. Is that, seven in a row now? So ACC, very impressive. Obviously, Virginia got mollywopped by the Rams of Colorado State. But that's their only loss. That's the conference's only loss. Max, the Big East being undefeated, having all three teams that made the tournament in the Sweet 16. Does that show the committee got this wrong by leaving Seton Hall and St. John's out?
Oh, man, definitely. I would say so. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. It is a little top heavy in the Big East. Those are the teams, those 3 guys. I had them all going into the Sweet 16. Yeah, dude, Seton Hall and St. John's had incredible seasons, and they're coached very well. So I think they could have made a nice run here in the dance. So we'll see them next year because they're gonna show some fire and say, F you, committee. We'll get in without you even thinking about it.
Hell yeah. Maybe lastly here, the Big 12 being the best conference all year, rated better than any other conference at all these metrics, all these websites. 7-6 through the first two rounds, only having 2 teams in the Sweet 16. Max, I think that's a disappointment. I think that's a disappointment for the conference. I had Baylor in my Final Four. Texas Tech getting beat first round, BYU out first round, TCU out first round. That disappointing from the Kansas out to Gonzaga and ass beaten.
Yeah.
Disappointing from the conference, I think, Big 12. It reminds me, I believe, 2021 when the Big 10 had all these teams ranked all high, top 10, top 15 all year, and the Big 10 shit the bed and the Pac-12 made a run. This reminds me of that, where we were all on the Big 12 all year. Only 2 teams in the Sweet 16, Houston and Iowa State, the 2 best teams in the conference. I think that's a disappointment.
No doubt about it. And you know what? Your Kansas Jayhawks, they got damn lucky in that first round against Samford. Everyone, if you didn't see the game, they were up by like 22. I want to say 22. Samford came back, brought the game down to 1 point, and the referee blew the damn game. This is I'm telling you right now, Cobrazy. Here's the pictures. That block was as clean as it gets. They called a foul, and that was the end of the game. He blocked that shit off the backboard. They got the rebound. They would have went the other way and scored it and took the lead. All the momentum was going their way until the damn ref decided to blow the damn whistle. I hate that. I hate that.
Do you think the ref had any skin on the game?
I don't know about that. Okay, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. But this is what I will say. When referees make a bang bang call like that, okay,
Yeah.
they should be fined. They should be fined or they should be suspended.
An incorrect bang bang call.
The incorrect. Yeah, yes. Okay.
Okay.
Or how about this? If you're not allowed to go review the play, right? They're all these reviews, all game round. Oh, his elbow was out too far. Oh, he pulled it.
Yeah.
Oh,
smacked him back here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All game long. Flagrant.
Too many.
Instead of looking at all the players, how about we go back and look at the ref for making a terrible call like that? That ruined the game. How about the last 2 minutes? We'll just say the last 2 minutes like they usually do with the out of bounds, right? They can go review out of bounds plays the last 2 minutes of the game. How about review a terrible call? Okay. Yeah. I think that a coach can use one of his timeouts for like a challenge. Like a challenge. Yeah. How about that?
Could happen in the future. Last little headline storyline we want to hit on was probably the biggest upset of the tournament. It happened on Thursday. The 14-3 in the South Regional. The Golden Grizzlies of Oakland took down a blue blood in Kentucky, a 3 seed, 80-76. Max, the star of the game, the new guy everybody's talking about was Jack Golke. Okay, Jack Golke. He had 32 points on 10 of 20 from 3. He only shot threes. Okay, he didn't take a 2-pointer. All this off the bench. Okay, this dude came off the bench. 32 points, 10 threes off the bench. He's the 10th player to make 10+ threes in an NCAA tournament game, and the first since 2019. Your guy Carson Edwards.
Yeah, baby.
This is the Golden Grizzlies' first. This was the Golden Grizzlies' first ever time in the second round until they lost to the Wolfpack. We know they got taken down in that second round, but this was their first ever time in that second round. Remember, we talked about Greg Kampe last week. Mm-hmm. 40 years on the job. He took this Oakland head basketball coaching job when he was 28 years old. They were in Division II. He gets them into Division I. 40 years. The leading scorer, Townsend, his dad played for Kampe at Oakland. Okay, this is in Michigan. This isn't in California. This is in Michigan. Greg Kampe, 699 career wins. His fourth most among active head coaches behind Cliff Ellis, Mark Few, and Tom Izzo. And damn it, Max, I thought he was retiring. I guess he's got 3 years left on his contract and he wants an extension. So shout out fucking Greg Kampe and the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. What do you think about Jack Golke hitting 10 threes?
You know, I heard this on a few YouTube channels, and I think we even have a YouTube short on them, that this guy might be a March Madness legend because of what he did.
Yeah.
10 3-pointers to be at a number 3 Kentucky. If he would have missed one of those 3-pointers, they would have lost, you know. So
yeah.
What an incredible game. If by this guy, if I'm not mistaken, the short that we have talks about how this guy was an Uber driver.
Oh.
He was an Uber driver to make a little extra cash to pay for his tuition. And then now he goes off and has everyone's going to remember this.
Yeah.
Anyone that was watching that game, we're all going to remember it. Jack Golke, that was phenomenal.
Jack Golke, Greg Kampe, shout out to you guys, the Golden Grizzlies. Keep it rolling. Moving to the other side of this, the Kentucky Wildcats, okay, this blue blood. Okay, we want to talk about these guys real quick. Kentucky, in their last 5 NCAA tournament games, their last 5, 1-4.
Oh.
1-4 in their last 5 NCAA tournament games. Their last Sweet 16 was 2019. Their last Final Four was 2015 in Indianapolis. Okay, so they haven't been advancing in the tournament. Now we were going to come on here and talk about if Kentucky should let go of John Calipari. We were going to come on here and talk about that, but we see yesterday, Tuesday, Calipari sat down with athletic director Mitch Barnhart. They hashed things out. He's gonna be retained. Okay, Calipari's coming back for his 16th season in Lexington. I didn't realize it had been 16 years already.
Yeah, seriously.
Turns out that $33 million buyout was too much. Okay, Let's not forget he's on a lifetime contract. Okay, it just keeps rolling over. $33 million, that was way too much money to pay somebody not to do their job. I can agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But Max, how much longer do you think Calipari is going to be in Lexington? How short is that leash?
Oh man, he's on thin ice. Thin ice. You kidding me? With all these NBA players that continue to come to Kentucky, and Calipari keeps on telling them, I guarantee you'll make the NBA. I don't guarantee you'll graduate, but I'll guarantee you make the NBA.
Yeah.
How many of those guys are coming in here excited? More, how about this? I feel like they're more excited to go to the NBA than they are to play for Kentucky.
Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe. Maybe they're more excited about money. Maybe. Because wise man once said, Cole Breezy, that Coach Calipari is a good recruiter, not a good coach.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to agree with that. He's not a good coach. I don't think he's a good coach. And I think this might be the season. He's got to do something here. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's time for Kentucky to start showing what they're made of and start winning some basketball games in the tournament. I've
been on record saying I think John Calipari is an awesome recruiter, one of the best, maybe the best. You could tell me he's the best recruiter ever, and I'll say, okay, I'm not going to argue with you. He can wine and dine you. He can go into your living room and convince your parents that you should come to Lexington, Kentucky. He's one of the best, if not the best recruiter to do it. Okay, X's and O's, going into halftime and making adjustments, coming back out. We see more times than not, like the first 4, 5, 6 minutes, Kentucky loses those minutes in the second half, those first couple minutes, because the adjustments the other team is making. We see that happening. The X's and O's just isn't there for John Calipari, unfortunately. Final Fours at 3 different schools. Okay, that's impressive. That speaks for itself. But yeah, I think one more bad season, and we're looking at him out. I mean, first round this year, second round last year, first round in 2022, losing the 15 seed, the St. Peter's Peacocks. Mm-hmm. Year before that, they didn't even make it. 2021, they weren't even there, boys.
Oh, that's right. Wow.
2020, we didn't have a tournament. So Kentucky hasn't done shit in these last 4 or 5 years. Okay. John Calipari, lifetime contract and all, he's on the hot seat, Max. He's on the hot seat.
And why I had so much faith. Well, you got to look at the team. Okay, you look at the numbers, you look at the team. They have nothing but talent. I had these guys going to the Final Four.
Yeah.
And they severely disappointed me. Severely. I'm hurt.
I had them in the Elite Eight, so I wasn't far behind you. And I think I still stand on that they were the most talented team in America with the most NBA draft picks. But that doesn't always work when you don't have a coach that can mix those guys in and get the rock moving around.
Yeah.
So
too much standing. Too much standing.
All the talent in the world doesn't mean anything if you can't play together. Like, do they have more talent than Houston? Probably, but Houston is so well coached and plays so well together that you would take Houston all day over them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into some Sweet 16 matchups here, Max.
Yeah.
The potatoes of this baby. Okay, we talked some nuggets last week. One nugget that proved us wrong here. This was the 5th tournament ever where all 1 and 2 seeds made the Sweet 16. 5th tournament ever where all 1s and 2s made the Sweet 16. We talked about it a lot last week, how we had to have one getting knocked out. I think we both had Iowa State getting knocked out as our 2 seed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, we did.
But this year, all 1s and 2s made it for the first time, for the 5th time ever.
Oh, wow.
So now if you're looking at the first round, had a few upsets, okay? Mm-hmm. The round of 32, the seed aggregate, if you add up the seed amount, all the seeds, you add them up, it was the 7th highest ever in the round of 32. So 7th most upsets ever for the round into the round of 32. But then we saw chalk in the second round. The Sweet 16 seed aggregate is the 6th lowest. So we see the 1s and 2s, a couple 3s, a couple 4s. So there's no Cinderellas, Max. There's no Cinderellas. You can tell me North Carolina State as an 11 seed is a Cinderella, but I'm going to push back.
No way.
Push back. ACC, they've won a championship. There's no Cinderellas left in this tournament. But, Max, I think that means the matchups will be even greater. Okay, the matchups are going to be even tighter between these power conference schools. Let's start in the East Regional, okay? The defending champion, UConn Huskies, the 1 seed, the 1 overall seed, taking on the Aztecs, San Diego State, the last team remaining out of the Mountain West. Max, this is the first time the defending champ even made the Sweet 16 since 2016.
Wow.
The defending champion hadn't even made the Sweet 16 since 2016 Duke. And of course, we've talked about it for weeks. No defending champ has made it past the Sweet 16 since 2007 Florida. And let's not forget, San Diego State was in this spot last year as the 5 seed, playing the number 1 overall Alabama.
You're right.
Sweet 16 in the top left quadrant. And they took down the number 1 overall seed. Can they do it again, Max? Or you got the UConn Huskies moving on?
UConn's moving on. UConn is damn good. They're way better than Alabama. Last year, that is. They are way better than Alabama. That starting 5 is for real. They play defense. San Diego State struggles to score other than with Ledee. Ledee's good, but they'll figure out with Clingan. Clingan,
yep.
Clingan will have a good game against them. He's averaging like 3 blocks, almost. Dude, UConn, I got no doubt in my mind. I think that San Diego State can put up a decent game on defense. Sure, maybe have them score only 70 points, but they're still going to win. UConn's still going to win by 15.
I'm pretty close with you there, Max. Also got UConn. You talk about Donovan Clingan. I think he had 14 points, 14 boards, and 8 blocks last game. Okay, so that's who's going to be matched up with Jaden Ledee. He's 7'2". Jaden Ledee 6'9", boys. Okay, that's a Jaden Ledee. Yeah, he's been in the weight room,
big,
but Clingan's got the verticality on him. Their next leading scorer for San Diego State averages 9.8 points per game. Reese Waters. Okay, they have one guy in double figures. That's not enough. That's not enough scoring. UConn's way more talented. We both have the Huskies moving on. Max, listen to this one. This is the best nugget I got tonight. This one blew my mind. Turn up the volume. San Diego State, UConn. This was the championship game last year. Okay, so this is a rematch.
Oh, that's fun. Game. That is fun.
This is the 4th time ever that we've had a championship rematch in the following year's tournament. Okay, It's happened 3 times before this. 2007, Florida and UCLA. 1991, UNLV Duke. 1962, Cincinnati, Ohio State. In all 3 of those instances, the winner of that championship rematch went on to win the national championship that year.
Oh, wow.
That blew my mind, Max. That blew my mind.
That's nuts.
How does that happen?
That's nuts.
So if that stays true, the winner of this championship rematch will be cutting down the nets this year.
Ooh.
The other matchup in the East regional, juicy one right here, the 2-3 matchup. The Cyclones of Iowa State and the Fighting Illini of Illinois, Big 12, Big 10.
Nice.
Illinois' last Sweet 16 was in 2005 when they lost in the championship game to North Carolina. 2005, they haven't been to the Sweet 16. We saw Thursday against Morehead State, Marcus Domask had the 10th all-time NCAA tournament triple-double. This was the first one since Ja Morant had one when he was in the tournament. Looking at Iowa State, Coach TJ Otzelberger, we talked about him a little bit last week, but he's the only Cyclone coach to make multiple Sweet 16s in school history.
Nice.
He made it in 2022 also. I had to text our boy Brad. Is this true? Only coach ever to make multiple Sweet 16s? And yeah, he said it was true. Max, do you think TJ Otzelberger has the advantage here against Brad Underwood in the Illini, or going with your Big Ten team?
Man, this is such a good matchup. But I am going with my Fighting Illini. Well, not my Fighting Illini, but I'm in the same division as Purdue. So I'll root for the Big Ten, dude. What Illinois is doing right now, unfreaking real.
Smacking.
Oh my goodness, they are blowing out teams. A lot of people had Morehead State as that sleeper Cinderella. I think you did. My wife did as well. And I kept on saying, like, I'm just letting you know, Illinois is red hot right now. Yeah. Terrence Shannon Jr. had 40 points in the championship game of the Big Ten. And then now Terrence Shannon had like 30 points in the first game, another 30 points in the second game. This guy is on a tear. On a tear. Scaring people in the stands. They're nervous. The popcorn is... popcorn's going in the air. They're freaking out. I got Terrence Shannon, man, and they're playing good defense too. You know what the change of pace that Illinois is doing is Dane Danger. He's actually playing more.
Dangerous.
Why was he not playing in the season? Why was he coming off the bench? They did a lot of small ball. Dude, Dane Danger is good.
Yeah.
He's good.
He's a load. Just speaking about Terrence Shannon real quick, his starting with the last game, 30 points, 26, 34, 40, 28, 25, 11, 23, 29, 12, 35, 27, 31, 28. This guy's been going off, okay? Over this past weekend, according to Ken Palm, Illinois is now the number 1 offense, and Iowa State is still the number 1 defense. So this might be the sexiest matchup here of all these Sweet 16 games. At the end of the day, I think Illinois has more dudes. I think they have more dudes that can go get a bucket. I know Iowa State's been scoring a little bit more, but I think they lose this one, Max. I think Terrence Shannon, Marcus Domask, your guy Dane Danger, bodying people around. I think they move on. This was interesting that I heard today. Remember I brought up how this Terrence Shannon allegations from a couple months ago reminded me of how Brandon Miller was going into the tournament with a lot of media, a lot of questions. Yep. Illinois has made Terrence Shannon unavailable to the media, okay? The school is not comfortable with him in front of microphones, but they're comfortable enough to put him on the court. I think that's interesting. I think you need to put that young man in front of a microphone, but we both got Illinois. Moving on to play UConn. I'll make this quick. I got UConn on my bracket. I think they're better than Illinois. Way more defense than Illinois.
Yeah.
Huskies still in my Final Four.
No doubt about it. We have the same matchup, UConn versus Illinois. Actually, in my real bracket, that's exactly what I have is UConn to Illinois. And I have UConn going on to the Final Four as well. Illinois, I love what they're doing. It's so exciting to see. Brad Underwood, good job this year. Really good job of coaching these guys.
Yeah, definitely. Moving into the West. So the East and the West are both Thursday. South Midwest, both Friday. In the West, the 2-6 matchup, Arizona Clemson. Okay, this was not a matchup that either of us had. We talked about how we had Clemson losing first round. Clemson was actually the underdog in both those games. New Mexico and Baylor were both favored, so that solid on Brad Brownell for getting those boys underdogs in both games winning. They haven't advanced, so they've only advanced past the Sweet 16 one time in school history, 1980. They've only had one Sweet 16 win in school history, 1980. Arizona, they're the last Pac-12 team remaining in the last season of the Pac-12. Could it be a Cinderella story, Max? You got Arizona moving on?
Do you mean Cinderella story for Arizona or Cinderella story for Clemson?
Like a story, not a Cinderella, but like a storybook, like storybook story. Not a Cinderella story. You're right. But like the last season of the conference, can we get a championship?
I gotcha now. I got Arizona, baby. I had Arizona beating Baylor. Wait, sorry. No. I had New Mexico. Going all the way to the Sweet 16. I thought I jumped high on those logos.
You and the Patinos.
Yes, I did. Yes, I got Arizona. Sorry, I got Arizona still over Clemson. Clemson, good job. I always sleep on Clemson because Clemson does not do very well in the dance. Okay, we can go at past seasons. I think they lose in the first round, or they just miss the dance. I think there was 2 years ago they were 23-10 and they didn't make the dance, something like that.
Before their win over the Lobos in this one since 1998, 1-6 in the first round.
There you go.
1-6.
There you go. So I haven't chose Clemson in multiple times. I haven't seen them in the dance very often. No. So I said, no, not happening against Arizona. I think Arizona's doing a very, very good job in this dance as well. They're red hot. They want to get to Arizona. Where's it?
Glendale.
Thank you. Glendale. I was going to say Mesa, whatever, but close enough. Glendale. They want to get to Glendale, baby. What do you got, Cobreezy? What do you think?
I'm right there with you. I think TJ Hall might be able to cause problems if Umar Ballo is going to be guarding him. I don't know if Umar Ballo can guard him. Maybe put Keyshawn Johnson on him.
Yeah.
I think PJ Hall could have a big game here, but yeah, one Sweet 16 win in school history. I'm not going to call the second one.
No.
I'm not going to call the second one.
Nope.
Arizona, too much talent. Moving on. And Max, in that other game in the West Regional, the 1-4 matchup, this baby right here might be one of the juicier ones also. North
Ooh.
Carolina, Alabama. Oh, baby. This is Alabama's first time in back-to-back Sweet 16 since 1990-91. Okay. But they've only advanced past the Sweet 16 once in school history. 2004, they made the Elite Eight. Never been to the Final Four, Alabama. Mark Sears had a hell of a game against Grand Canyon, the Lopes.
Mm-hmm.
He's the first player in an NCAA tournament game with at least 25 points, 10 boards, and 6 assists since 2003. Dwayne Wade.
Oh,
in
wow.
Marquette Final Four run. North Carolina, Alabama. Who gets this one done, Max?
This is going to be a tightly contested game. Alabama scores like crazy.
They do.
UNC, though, has that history behind them, and they have the more talent. They do. They do have more talent. I think that Alabama is going to have some fire right off the bat. Right off the bat. They might go up by 10, 12, maybe even 15 points. But UNC is going to make that comeback, and they're going to secure themselves into that Elite Eight, just like I have in my bracket. I have Alabama taking on UNC in my bracket, and I have UNC taking them down. I have this. I have it. So let's go UNC. Their rebounding is better. Their defense is better, and they have more talent. I got UNC.
More size for North Carolina, more talent, way better defense. Armando Bacot, you're going to have to switch up that starting lineup if you're Nate Oates. You're going to have to bring Pringle in because the white guy, I can't think of his name, Nelson, starting center Nelson. He likes to hang out on the perimeter and shoot threes. He ain't going to be able to bang with Bacot. North Carolina, all the way. Alabama can't play defense. That sets up in your bracket. You still got it. Arizona, North Carolina, a Caleb Love revenge game. Max, are you sticking with your original pick or are you going to change it here?
Sticking with my original pick. I have Arizona going to Glendale at home for the Final Four. I think they have a better team than they had in a long, long time. I think they take down the number 1 seed UNC, but it's going to be an incredible game. Incredible game. That's all I got to say. I got Arizona going to the Final Four.
We definitely want to see this one. Caleb Love playing against his old boys. You know, gonna be some good fireworks if this one happens. Since 1985, North Carolina has been a 1 seed 14 times. In those 14 years, they made the Final Four in 9 of them, and of those 9, they won the national championship in 4 of them. So North Carolina as a 1 seed, you don't want to see them. But I'm with you, Max.
I
think it's going to be well, not in this game, but I don't know where the fuck this game is. But Arizona, they want this one. They haven't been to the Final Four since 2001. Arizona hasn't been to the Final Four since 2001. They're going to Glendale. I'm with you, Max. I'm with you. Arizona out of the West.
Hell yeah.
Let's move up to the South, top right quadrant. First matchup, we want to talk about the 2-11 matchup. Marquette, North Carolina State, the beef pack of North Carolina State, 7 in a row. They're the highest seed remaining. Don't call them a Cinderella. They're from the ACC. They have a championship. Don't call them a Cinderella.
Right.
Marquette, this is their first Sweet 16 since 2013. They haven't made the Sweet 16 since 2013. Shaka Smart, this is his first Sweet 16 since 2011 VCU when they went to the Final Four. He ain't been back to the Sweet 16 since then.
Wow.
Marquette, North Carolina State. Nobody thought the Wolfpack and DJ Burns, all that beef would be sitting here.
Fan favorite, Cole Breezy. Anytime that guy gets the ball, the fans go nuts.
As they should.
Marquette's got to be a little bit nervous here.
As they should also.
I cheer. I stand up and start cheering. I love DJ Burns, man. It's amazing.
I brought it up last week, but I'll say it again. DJ Burns, he grew up idolizing Hakeem Olajuwon, watching tape, watching how he had the footwork, the jump shots. But, you know, he was blessed with a Zach Randolph body, okay, big old Zebo. So DJ Burns definitely, along with Jack Golke, too bad they had to play each other. You know, why can't we get both those guys in the Sweet 16? But this is the end of the run for the Wolfpack and DJ Burns, DJ Horn. They were lucky to be in the tournament. This is where that luck, this win streak runs out. Marquette is a better team. Golden Eagles to the Elite Eight.
You know, NC State has some size on Marquette. They really do. With Burns and
Burns. Hell yeah.
What's that other guy? Long guy in NC State. He's the other rebounder. Sorry, everybody. Had it. It might come. It might come to my mind. Anyway, they're bigger than Iguodaro.
Yeah, he's not too
Iguodaro's
big.
good.
Yeah,
He's
he's not too
good.
big
But
though.
what is he? 6'8", 6'9"? Compared to
Probably
a Burns and 6'10", 6'11", 300 pounds pushing.
450.
450. Man, this is a fun matchup. But I do think Marquette is just.
All that talk.
You know, this game doesn't matter for me. This game doesn't matter for me anymore because I picked Kentucky. I picked Kentucky.
Same
you know
here,
what?
But
you know what? I'm going to go NC State. Let's change it up a little bit. I'm going to go NC State. They're going to go 8 games in a row. I put it. Yeah,
nice.
let's do it.
Nice.
I'm rolling with the Wolfpack right now.
I like it. I like it. Other matchup in that South Regional, one of the juicier ones here. There's a lot of. It'll be tough to rank these matchups with juiciest matchups at the top. Be tough to order them. But this one in the South, Houston Duke, 1-4 matchup. This is one of the better ones also. Houston has now made 5 straight Sweet 16s. 5 straight Sweet 16s for Houston. And they are the first team to ever win an NCAA tournament game with 4 players fouling out.
Yeah.
Texas A&M, everybody fouled out. First team to ever win an NCAA tournament game with 4 players fouling out. That was crazy. Looking at Duke, Jeremy Roach, he hurt his pinky. Did you see that? He was screaming on the bench. Pinky was sitting sideways, left pinky. They don't know what's going to happen. I'm sitting here right now telling you that I did the same thing to my left pinky. It was sticking sideways like this. Shout out Isaac Foost and Travis Lee took me to the emergency room. I passed out, pissed myself a little bit, I'm pretty sure. Passed out, okay? Returned to the jungle at IUPUI 6 nights later, hit 8 threes in a co-ed game, went for 30. I was fine. Jeremy Roach is going to be fine. So let's not worry about the point guard from Duke is all I'm trying to say.
During that game, that comeback game that you had, did you have to wear a catheter?
No catheter, but definitely the buddy tape. Had to buddy tape it.
Nice.
You saw Jeremy Roach screaming on the bench, and people are like, "Oh, does he play next week?" Your boy here in the intramural league returned 6 nights later and had a 30-piece. Okay, so Jeremy Roach can do it. Is that going to be enough for Duke to get over the hump of Houston?
I think Houston almost losing to Texas A&M showed their weakness. I think Duke is a good scoring team. They play defense. ACC 6-1. I'm going ACC
8-1. 8-1.
Sorry, 8-1. I got ACC. I'm going Duke. Duke is taking them down.
Wow.
4 seed taking down the number 1 seed. Let's go. Come on.
All ACC regional final for you there. Nice. Like you said, you think the Texas A&M game showed some weaknesses, had some red flags there. I think it also woke them up. I think it woke them up that now they're like, oh, we can get beat. Okay, we're fortunate to be here now. They don't take this opportunity for granted. I've said it before that I'm not going to call Duke soft, but damn it, I don't think they're tough enough to get this one. Kyle Filipowski wants to trip people and say, oh, they were attacking me. They went out of their way to get me. Shut up, Kyle Filipowski. Go out and get more than 3 points in a game and prove something to me. But I got Houston moving on because, like I said, I'm not going to call Duke soft, but I don't think they're tough enough. Houston's going to punk them. They're going to punk them in the paint.
Okay.
So that sets up Houston, Marquette for me. And I was back and forth on this one, Max, to go to the Final Four. And I'm back on Marquette. Okay, a preseason Final Four team for me. Tyler Kolek looks healthy. I was reserved about Marquette last week because we didn't know about oblique for Tyler Kolek. He looks fine. He looks fine. He looks ready to go. They got multiple scorers. Shaka Smart has that March magic in him. I got Marquette going to the Final Four, baby.
Wow. That's something.
Yeah.
So let's see. I got Duke. It would be Duke taking on NC State, low ACC matchup. Ooh, man, this is fun. This is fun because NC State, I believe, beat Duke to get. Did they? Did they beat Duke to get? I think so. In the ACC,
first game for Duke.
ACC tournament. I got Duke though. I got Duke taking them down here, and then they're going to squeeze into a final.
Wow.
Who am I missing in this? No. This region was Kentucky. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. I drew a blank for a second. I got Duke. Why not?
Nice.
Why not?
Nice. Bentley be happy with you. That's his champion.
Champion, huh?
Come on now. Last region, bottom right, Midwest. We got two bangers here. Let's start off with the 1-5. Your Boilers.
Boiler up.
Boiler the Bulldogs of Gonzaga. This is Gonzaga. This is Gonzaga's ninth straight Sweet 16. Ninth straight Sweet 16 for Gonzaga. That's obviously the longest active streak. Mark Few, that consistency, my hat's tipped to them. Looking at Purdue real quick. Zach Edey is the second player since 1976 with an NCAA tournament game of 30 points and 20 boards since Joe Smith in 1995 for Maryland. Second player since 1976 with 30 and 20. Jesus Christ. And he's also the first player with 3 straight NCAA tournament games. So you got to go back to that Fairleigh Dickinson game. Edey has 3 straight NCAA tournament games with 20-plus points and 3 blocks. That's the first player to do that since Shaq in the early 90s, okay? We had boots on the ground for that Utah State game, Max. Edey was looking good. Everybody was firing on all cylinders. That was about a 40-point ass beating. You said you wanted to call some people out.
I'm going to go ahead and call out I guess they're called the CBS crew and Wally Zerbiak. I want to say Charles. I want to say Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith had something to say about my. I think so. Wow. Definitely Wally Zerbiak, and I believe okay. That crew. First of all, Wally Zerbiak said that Utah State's taking them down. Utah State's guaranteed they're going to take them down. I think it was Charles Barkley. Correct me if I'm wrong, everybody. Maybe it was Kenny Smith. Because I walked out. I was like, get the fuck out. I'm not listening to them. They said that Great Osabor, who's a great player, and Zach Edey level out. That they equal each other out. All right, let's just go over really quick. Great Osabor is 250 pounds. That's a big boy. Zach Edey's 300 pounds. He has 50 pounds on him.
Big difference.
Zach Edey is 7'4". Great Osabor is 6'8".
Yeah. Not close.
Zach Edey is averaging 24 points and 13 rebounds. Great Osabor is averaging 19 points, and I believe it was 10 rebounds, so we'll give him a double-double. Do we understand the differences? Because apparently that's equaled out. Zach Edey took Great Osabor to town, everybody. Zach Edey didn't even have to play in the second half. They played him for like 4 minutes, and then they're like, we're good because we're winning by 30.
Yeah.
I think it's time to retire, Wally Zerbiak. It's time to retire. Okay? These analysts think they know everything. I want to call the upset. I want to get clicks on YouTube like us, like we do too. We want those too. Come on, we want subscribers, everybody. Subscriber. Right. But I'm just going to tell you that you didn't know enough about my Boilers. You didn't put it in enough research. Apparently, Zach Edey averaging, a huge double-double, blocking 3 shots a game, being the second, winning a second Player of the Year award. Apparently, that's not enough. For them. So.
Great performance from your Boilers. That it looked like a home court advantage for sure there in Indianapolis. Definitely big time.
Yeah.
Last matchup we got here for our Sweet 16 games, Max.
We didn't pick who you're going to take. Gonzaga, Purdue,
I'm sorry, boys. I'm with you on your Boilers. I apologize. I'm moving on. I don't want to make it as soon, but yeah, Purdue Gonzaga played in Maui this year. Purdue got them by 10. I think it's a different Gonzaga team. I think Nemhard and Graham Ike are definitely the leaders of the team now. And I think it is going to be a great matchup with Graham EK and Edie down low.
Definitely.
Just like we thought it would be with Great Osobor and Edie, but it's going to be a good one. Mark Few, I respect him, but I got the Boilers with you. Thanks for reminding me. Got me moving too fast there.
And real quick, Cole Breezy, now that we're just bringing up the matchup, you're going to hear a lot of analysts out there saying that Gonzaga is going to take Purdue down. You're going to hear it. Charles Barkley probably already said it with peanut butter in his mouth and everything.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. That guy eats a lot of peanut butter. You can tell the way that he mumbles. Him and Kendrick Perkins should hang out. They probably hang out a lot. Eat a lot of peanut butter.
Yeah. Probably already do.
Just a finger in the peanut butter bottle. No knife needed. No bread. Just fingers.
They share the same.
They share the same one. They're big boys. They probably need a Costco jug of it.
2 hands on it.
They only need one because they're freaking huge. Anyway, the matchups. Okay, history in history matchups between Purdue versus Gonzaga. Cole Breezy, what do you think the record is? You have they played 4 games with each other. 4 games. Only 4. What do you think the record is?
Well, I know they beat them in the PK. Purdue beat Gonzaga in the PK 90 last year, so I know that's 2-0 for Purdue. I'll go 4-0.
Purdue is 4-0 against Gonzaga, leading all the way back from the first game they ever played, which was back in 1998, 1999, where they won at home by 15. And then in 1999-2000, a neutral court in New Mexico, they won by 9. And then obviously last year they won by 18. This year they won by 10. Purdue is ruling Gonzaga. Gonzaga's going to come out with fire. It's going to be a great game. Okay, it's going to lead into the second half. But I'm telling you right now, Purdue's going to be 5-0. Everybody, don't be fooled by Charles Barkley and his peanut butter mouth.
Last matchup for these Sweet 16 games in the Midwest Regional, Tennessee, Creighton, 2 versus 3. This is one of the juicier ones too, Max. I'm gonna sit down and do a ranking. I'm gonna sit down and do a ranking and see how tough this is gonna be. Juiciest Sweet 16 games. Creighton, I think they got the best big 3 in the nation. I talked about it last week with Kalkbrenner, Alexander, and Shireman. I think that's the best big 3. I don't know if there's any other team with 3 guys each averaging over 17 a game. Excuse me. I think they're really good, really well coached too. Greg McDermott.
Yeah.
Tennessee versus Texas in that game against the Longhorns. Tennessee shot 33.8% from the floor and 3 of 25 from deep. That is 12% from deep. I believe that is the most threes attempted with the worst percentage to win an NCAA tournament game in the history. Tennessee, they only won that game by 4, 62-58. I think they get tripped up here. I got Creighton in my bracket. I got this matchup. I've already thought about this enough. I think the size of Ryan Kalkbrenner, 3 blocks a game. Creighton Blue Jays moving on to see your Boilers.
I have the same matchup in my bracket as well. It's Creighton versus Tennessee. Awesome game. But like I said last week, I'm in my home state now. This is my new home. This is my new home. I'm going to go with my home in Tennessee. I want to see Tennessee versus Purdue. What a fun matchup. Me living in Tennessee now. Come on, let's see it.
Tennessee has never made the Final Four, so this would be a heck of a feat. The last 8 times Tennessee was a top 4 seed. Okay, they're a 2 seed this year. The last 8 times they were a top 4 seed. They're 8-0 in the first round, undefeated, but they never made it past the Sweet 16. Never made it past this game. I think that trend continues. I got Creighton moving on to play Purdue. That's what I got in my bracket. And like I said last week, I'm not getting off of it. I think Ryan Kalkbrenner can guard. He can't guard.
No, he cannot.
This is what I mean, though. You don't need to help. You don't need to help. If anybody can do it, it's Ryan Kalkbrenner, 2nd in the nation in blocks per game. This guy's a 3-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year. Okay, if anybody can do it, it's going to be this guy. You're not going to need to help. You can stay home on Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer, Lance Jones. You can stay home on them. They're not going to get hot. Mason Gillis, he might queef like he did against Fairleigh Dickinson. I got Creighton making their first ever Final Four in school history. Go Blue Jays.
Kalkbrenner better put a weighted vest on to try to push Edie around because it ain't happening.
260?
It ain't happening. I'll tell you right now, that guy is a twig. He is a twig.
3-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year.
He's a hell of a shot blocker. I'll give him that. He might get 1 or 2 against Edey.
Oh.
I think so. But I think he's going to get 3 or 4 fouls called pretty quickly on him because Edey's too damn big, too damn strong, and too damn skilled. Good luck with that pick, Cole Breezy. Because let's go Boilers. Got him going to the Final Four, obviously.
You giving Kalkbrenner 260? Oh, 270. 270.
That's pushing it.
The skinny 270.
That guy weighs more than great Ozabor. Interesting.
7'1". 7'1".
Yeah, he is tall. 7 feet.
He's a skinny 270. So now I got UConn against Arizona. I got the Huskies moving on there. I got a Big East matchup of Marquette and Creighton. Those two teams split their season series, each team winning on their home floor. Marquette got them by 14, I want to say. Or sorry, Creighton got them by 14. Marquette got theirs by 5. I got the Blue Jays still moving on. I got 3 teams from the Big East in my Final Four. That's crazy, I think. But I got the Huskies over the Blue Jays in my second chance bracket.
Jeez, a big East fan. Why don't you just move there? Move to New York, New Jersey.
Notre Dame. I grew up in the Big East. Notre Dame.
I guess you're right. I guess they are technically in the Big East. Okay, good call.
Used to be. When I was growing up.
So I got UConn. I chose UConn, Arizona. Then I got Duke. My new Duke because I had Kentucky taking on Purdue. I got UConn still taking down Arizona, like I always said in the beginning, and I still got Purdue taking down Duke. And it's going to be a UConn versus Purdue championship game. Cannot wait for that. But I'm still going with the UConn Huskies to take down my Boilers because, man, I just don't know who can slow them down. I think Purdue can put up a fight.
They look dominant. Dominant. But if we had a UConn Purdue finale, I'd sign me up. Sign me up. I'll be there. Please. I'd love that. I think we each have 3 of our Final Four original teams left, Max. I lost Baylor. You lost Kentucky. So I think 3 out of 4 still remaining. I think that's something to talk about.
Yeah.
But anything else you have for this March Madness talk, Max, before we move into our last segment?
Super excited for the Sweet 16, Cole Breezy. Everyone, you put it on your tellies. It starts at 6:09 my time, 5:09 your time, Cole Breezy.
I think so.
Yes, 6:09 is a weird number, but yes, that is the first game. Have them on, everybody. It's going to be some good games.
Moving into the last topic this week on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, we got some people's favorite segment, a one we haven't done in a few months. Showtime with Shohei.
Wow.
Forgot about that, huh?
Forgot about it, yeah.
Newly signed Dodger, 2-time MVP, Shohei Ohtani is under Major League Baseball investigation. The $700 million slugger and star pitcher claims his close friend and interpreter, EP Mizuhara, has been taking money from his account to fund his gambling debts. Ohtani says he was completely unaware of the $4.5 million that was stolen from him until Ipe confessed to Shohei and the Dodgers last week. Ipe first told ESPN that Ohtani knowingly paid the debts, but now has adopted Ohtani's story. The bets were said to be on the NFL, NBA, college football, and international soccer. Ohtani made a statement yesterday claiming he has never gambled on sports. Matthew Boyer, the illegal bookmaker that the millions were transferred to from Ohtani's account, is currently under investigation. Ipe Mizuhara is currently MIA. Nobody can find him. Max, what are your thoughts on the biggest star in baseball in decades? The biggest star in baseball in decades, Shohei Ohtani, getting wrapped up in this gambling scandal.
Very, very messy. Oh, it's a messy sandwich, Cole Breezy. Greasy, cheesy, whatever is all over your fingers.
Saucy.
You want to lick it off, but you're like, no, that's gross. It's like grease and shit.
Whoa.
I'm just gonna use a napkin to wipe this off.
Whoa.
This is sadly a little disappointing to hear this, because being the best player in baseball, why do you need to gamble? Why do you need to do these things to try to find joy? I understand that this is some form of addiction, they like to call it. You get addicted to gambling and whatnot. But again, I guess we don't know all the facts until they come in. So I'm not gonna jump off a bridge here and say, "Oh, Shohei Ohtani is guilty." Like, no. Let's wait and hear what we have to say. I find it hard to believe that you don't know that $4.5 million just
that's a red flag. That's a red flag for sure.
I'm wondering if this guy, it's a lot of money. I wonder if this guy is like a close friend though. Like
it's his best friend, his interpreter, basically with him 24 hours. Okay. He has access to his accounts.
Has he known him for like a long time?
I would assume so. Yeah. Best friend,
childhood type of scenario.
I don't know about that.
I would like to know this, but
he had access to Shohei's accounts. Yes.
Man. What a betrayal. How about that? If they are as close as they are and Shohei put trust in this guy and then he goes and steals $4.5 million for gambling debts. Jeez, dude, you're hanging out with the best player in the world. Yeah. You don't think that's enough?
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, just based off of what you're telling me right now, it sounds incredibly selfish by that guy and really let down Shohei is about to be on the Dodgers, and the Dodgers are going to win probably 150 games out of 162. So, I don't know what you're thinking, man. I don't know what you're thinking.
I'm going to take Shohei at his word here. He says he's never gambled. He says he's never wagered on any games, baseball, any sport. I'm going to take him at his word. I have no reason not to believe him. Very unfortunate. It is a red flag that $4.5 million is missing and you don't know, but when you have 700 million coming, I can see you not seeing 4.5. I can see that. I can see that. This is definitely betrayal, like you said. Your best friend, the guy with you all the time, stealing from you. That really sucks. Like you also said, more facts are going to come out as they always do. But yeah, I think Shohei's good. I think he's clean. But another red flag was he came out and made a statement for 15 minutes maybe yesterday. Obviously, there was an interpreter that translated it. But they didn't allow any follow-up questions after. Now, that could be a language barrier thing, but they didn't allow any follow-up questions after Shohei's statement. That's a red flag to me also.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think Shohei's clean. Maybe he did help his friend out with his $4.5 million. Maybe he did give it to him. Maybe it wasn't stolen, and the story changed because they realized Shohei could get in trouble for lending the money for gambling debts. I think that's the most likely outcome here, Max.
I like that. I agree with you on that, Go Breezy. I think he loaned him the money. That makes sense. He's like, I don't want to see my best friend get taken by the sharks that they like to, that they say. Yeah, I could see him trying to have his back.
And this isn't FanDuel, this isn't DraftKings, this is an illegal bookmaker who is under federal investigation right now. This is the guy just doing it. So this isn't how you and I bet, okay? No. This is illegal gambling.
Yikes.
But at the end of the day, I think Shohei's clean, and I can't wait to see him mid-June out here in Colorado. To Dodgers Rockies. I'll be there, baby.
You bought tickets already?
Ooh, no. But it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm thinking the Monday game.
Nice. Yeah. I know you're a little. Last thing, I know you're probably a little bit nervous though. If he gets suspended, that's for fantasy baseball. Yeah. Everybody, we're getting that going.
Franchise player for me, and I think we're gonna be good. But gambling in sports, as we've seen in the NBA, and we're seeing in the state of Iowa for the NCAA schools.
Baseball too, Pete Rose.
Going to be a lot of problems. It's going to be a lot of problems. And as PTI said today, Michael Wilbon, he thinks it's going to be a weekly topic, fucking people gambling and players gambling in sports. So it's getting out of control. It's getting out of control, unfortunately, and got to get some regulations. Got to get some more rules. Lock it down.
Yeah.
And with that, Max, we got to tell everybody that Major League Baseball opening day is tomorrow.
Wow.
March 28th. It's a little too early for me. We're in the Sweet 16 of March Madness. I'm not going to be watching any baseball this week. I'm not going to be watching any.
No.
So it's a little early for me. I still got snow on the ground here. But good luck, Rockies. Good luck, Rockies, playing the snow. But Major League Baseball starts tomorrow, Max.
Go Cubbies. Let's go Cubs. I'm a big Cubs fan. They're one of my favorite teams. And I hope they have a good season. That's all I got to say. They signed a big pitcher, Amanaga. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Guy from Japan. Supposed to be a really good pitcher. And, hey, we signed Cody Bellinger to a 3-year deal. That's exciting. That's exciting. We got some young players on the team. Let's go Cubs. This is your year for the NL Central. I think they can do it.
And with that, Max, that's going to do us this week on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. Thanks for everybody for coming out. All our regulars, all our rookies, our new people. Let us know what you think. Leave us comments, be good or bad, whatever. Let us know. Before we get out of here, I got to give a shout out to my guy Evan McDougal. Him and Crystal McDougal had a baby this morning, so shout out to them.
Hey, congrats.
Laura McDougal, gonna meet her tomorrow. Can't wait. Congrats to you guys. It was a long road. So happy for you guys. So happy.
Congratulations. That's an incredible accomplishment.
Anything from you, bro? See, where can they find this podcast at?
Woo! Hey, thank you everyone for coming out to the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast tonight. Please like, comment, and subscribe like you've been doing. We love it. We love those comments. We love those likes and subscriptions. But you can also find us not only here on YouTube, but Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, X, and Instagram. We love you all, and we appreciate it. Go Breezy. I mean, I'm getting sweaty over these games already. I'm getting sweaty. It's getting hotter out here. I got to start taking. I'm taking allergy medication again. Well, Claritin. Taking Claritin.
Back on the allergy pills.
Back on allergy pills. Need them out here. I need them out here. It's not just.
Need them in Cali. Interesting.
My nose is itchy. My nose is running. And now I'm just getting sweaty because of these games. I'm getting too nervous. My blood pressure gets up for Purdue games. Oh my goodness.
It's going to be up for this Gonzaga game because that's not going to be an easy one. I know 4-0 all time. It ain't going to be a walk in the park.
No.
I encourage you. I encourage everybody else. I think I'm going to sit down and try to rank these matchups 1 to 8. Yeah, 1 to 8 to most juiciest, because you could tell me 3, 4, 5 games are going to be the best game, and I'll believe you. These no Cinderellas, no mid-majors. That's going to lead to 1, 2, 3-point games, buzzer beaters. I'm excited for these matchups, Max.
Cannot wait, everybody. You better put those juicy games in between 2 pieces of bread and take a bite. Yum, 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 yum.